for the next couple of weeks. Tell your neighbor, what year are you living in?
What year are you living in?
Where are you at? Because it's time for a shift. It's time for a shift. Say it's time for a shift.
It's time for a shift.
What's interesting is that when it comes to God and what He's doing in the earth, even with our world around us, and it doesn't take a blind man to see that God is shifting some stuff in a major way. Matter of fact, He's doing it in such a way that we can see it in all kinds of realms and all kinds of systems, that between even the political realm, you can see in Washington right now, there's a brand new shift taking place that we never saw before. Say neighbor. He said it's a shift. He said it's a shift. It's a shift. It's a shift that's taking place. And you got to find out where you're at in the shift so that you know how to make shift yourself when things shift around you. Not only in the political realm is it making a shift, but also I found out that in the natural realm, all week long there's been shifts. In case you don't know, in California, there have been about 3 of them all week long. Sometimes God is preaching so loud you can't even miss it. He was preaching so loud that I'm shifting stuff right now. He shifted it at a 5.2 in California. Then the next day they woke up, it was a 7.1. And then after that it was a 6.4 right after that. Thinking, excuse me, in case you don't know, there is some shifts going on right now. There is some shifts going on right now. Not only in the political realm, not only in the natural realm, but I also found out socially right now, there is some major power shifts going on. Not only there, but socially, even in our sports realm, where we focus on. When we see people, stuff like the NFL right now, when we watch somebody like AB from Pittsburgh get shipped all the way to Oakland.
Come on.
Then we got Odell Beckham that went from New York all the way to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Saying, excuse me, I told you there were shifts going on. Shifts going on.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I know this. He's shifting receivers. I'm going to let that settle for a moment. I say he's shifting receivers. So if you ain't ready to receive, you might miss the shift. Not only that, if you go to the NBA, I don't know about y'all, but there's a couple of earthquakes that was felt from Toronto to Los Angeles. That there is a shift. You can see the shifts happening and even in that environment. When AD went to LA, that was a shift. The idea with Kyrie and Durant, when they go from where they went to New York to play for the Nets, you know that got to be a shift. And then this week, everybody in Canada mad. Because there's been a shift.
Yes.
Kawhi and poor Oklahoma City. There's been some shifts. Say neighbor, in case you don't notice, God is making some major shifts right now. And if I was you, this is not a moment to stay stuck. Somebody say, I hear this.
I hear it.
Not only that, but also those places of shifts are happening in our life and around us and to us. And when we get to this mid-year, sometimes what God puts on my heart is to make sure we evaluate our own self. That we check our own self. We do our own introspection and examination about what it is that you've been believing that you're going to end up in at the end of the year. You can believe it, but if you don't make a shift to be able to make it, you won't make it. I can pray it, but if I don't do it, it ain't going to happen. I can intercede for it. I can shout about it, but there's a part of my faith that got to go beyond me saying faith, me declaring faith, but there has to be a doing faith. There has to be a working for what you are believing. God is not a laborer. What God is He's a co-laborer. Which means as soon as you start working, God will start working. So there's a place in which, even as we walk through this place in our own life, that growth can be painful, change can be painful, but ain't nothing more painful than being stuck where you don't belong. I said, ain't nothing more stuck, ain't nothing more painful than being stuck somewhere you don't belong. Matter of fact, when you're around people you don't even like to be around, you get aggravated. When you're in places that you get aggravated by because you know you don't belong there, that there's something inside of you that says, there's something that's got to be more than this, greater than this, bigger than this, I'm wider than this, I'm deeper than this. There's something in my spirit and in my heart that I got to agree with it and make the shift that's necessary though. Somebody say, I'm hearing this. And by the way, I found out, somebody put it this way, I went through this morning and realized I don't have what it takes to sit back and be average.
Come on.
Can you excuse me? I don't have it. I'm above average. And I ain't selling it for nothing else. So you go ahead and make a shift, would you? When it comes to the mid-year, we do these introspections and these times of evaluations for our life and see where we at and examine ourselves. Somebody said that life unexamined is not even worth living. And if I put it in the hood version, I would simply say, where are you at? Where you at? And are we making the shifts that are necessary to get us to the place that we believe that God is showing us?
Yeah.
Somebody say amen.
Amen.
Don't feel fear here. Fear being at the exact same place this time next year. Don't fear failure. Fear being at the exact same place this time next year. Somebody say, I'm hearing this. Dad, we got to stop making excuses and make some moves. Come on, we got to stop making noise and making moves. We got to stop making plans and make moves. We got to stop making hearts and likes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And make some moves. Think of the neighbor. How many likes did you make this week? Now, how many moves did you make this week? Yeah, it's time. It's time. I do about life. I found out something interesting this week that kind of messed me up. That was last week. A couple weeks ago, I was driving my car. After I was driving my car, I got to a light, and all of a sudden, my engine was running. But then the light shifted, and I went to push down with acceleration, and nothing happened. You know what I found out? You can have an engine and still not be moving. See, I found out that the engine represents power, but the transmission equals process, and all the body is just a package. There's a lot of people got packaged, but they got no power. I mean, there's a lot of people got packaged, but they don't know the process to be able to get one place to the other place. And what's going to happen is, I need a transmission. I need to put my life in a gear and know what season I'm in, so I can make the right shift, so that movement can happen. Because you can have movement and not have progress.
That's right.
Talk about frustrated. Can you imagine sitting at a green light with 5 cars behind you and all you got is noise but no moves? Amen. Could the devil be telling the church that? Glory! Hallelujah! Thank you! You got a lot of noise.
All right. All right.
But you ain't got no moves.
Come on now. Come on, Pastor.
We know how to shout. We got to dance down. Got every song down. Got it. And got the shout out. I was speaking all kinds of tongues. But don't ask me did I make a move.
All right.
Don't ask me did I pay it off. Don't ask me did I take care of the thing. Don't ask me did I change my heart. You don't ask me did I call the person I offended and I knew I offended. Don't make me make a move.
Right.
Yes.
But let me have a service.
Jeez.
Somebody say amen anyhow. See, I think that in life you can't bring forth too much or birth nothing without a shift. Somebody say amen. Amen. And in the midst of those situations, I found out, I called a car guy. He said, you know what? If you pushed on it and your engine was revved up and you had the noise, but you didn't have no movement, that means you're slipping. I'm going to go over here. Then I'm going to go over here. Because see, sometimes we're so busy, but we really ain't going nowhere with our busyness, but we not busy. And we doing a lot of stuff, but we ain't seeing stuff shift. We're not seeing a change in some of the areas of our life because it's not the ideal that God's not strong enough. Sometimes it's just that I'm not willing to move the way He wants me to move. Maybe I'm not willing to change when He wants me to change. And I found out this. Life is a lot like a transmission in an automatic. They call it automatic, but it ain't. Oh, come on. Every car you get in that does not have a stick shift is actually called an automatic. But if you get in your car and you do nothing, you ain't going nowhere. So while they call it automatic, it really ain't automatic. If you sit there, turn it on, and you push the button, vroom, 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 nothing gonna happen because you in park. And unless you go through, watch this, not saying something to it, you have to choose in your mind to do something if you want to start moving. Then you want to have to choose to move to begin moving. Then you're going to have to keep moving and keep shifting so that you can keep going. Hey, excuse me. Where you at? And what gear you living in?
What year are you living in?
And I found out that all through the scriptures you'll find out that sometimes when we do a diagnostic on ourselves, it's kind of scary to find out where you're really at.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you look at the ideal, am I in park? I'm in the thing and I got noise around me, but ain't nothing changing.
Yeah.
I'm in park when I watch other people pass me and I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
I'm in park when I won't shift and change and do the thing that's necessary to come out of the space I'm in. Excuse me. I didn't ask you if you was in park. I'm checking to see if I am.
All right.
See, I haven't left the last place I parked. then I'm still stuck. Matter of fact, every now and then you got to check yourself and see if you're in reverse. Because the last time we talked to you, you keep talking to me about what happened 10 years ago. 15 years ago, your daddy, your mommy, and everybody else, your last 3 boyfriends and everybody else. You ain't with the one or all the 3, but you keep bringing everybody up, and you don't know you're doing life like this. You driving, but your life, and you're looking in reverse the whole time. And so you're looking behind you, not before you. So you got more faith in what you've been through, not where you're going to, and your mind is stuck in a place called reverse.
Yes.
Maybe you are neutral. You know what neutral is? Neutral is you stuck in between. And what they call it is the car won't go forward and it won't even go backwards. Matter of fact, it comes to people who are scared to make confrontation because you don't want to stand up with conviction, so you're neutral. So if somebody says something that's bad, you won't say nothing. You can't stand your own conviction. You won't say nothing about the Bible, but you love God because you're neutral. So you don't offend nobody in the world. You won't offend nobody in God because you're scared of everybody and your acceptance is on the line. So you stay neutral. That even when God brings you around folk that you know you gotta say something, you won't say nothing because you choose neutral.
Amen. You're so good.
Say, neighbor, what gear are you in? Neutral is another word for settle. Neutral is another word for compromise. I know I shouldn't do it, but your butt don't stop. That's all for quiet in this church right about now. So I'm going to move forward past neutral. Amen. Say drive. That means you are moving. You are shifting. Things are changing. You are growing. Things are moving. You are doing the thing that God is asking you to do. And ain't no question about it. The only thing you got to question is, where do I turn next? Where do I go next? I done did the last 3 things you told me, and I'm looking for my next turn, my next exit, my next entrance, because I'm moving, I'm shifting, and I'm going to where you want me. Excuse me? What gear you living in? Yeah. Maybe you an L. I always used to wonder why people had an L on their car. However you did, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know what it is either. You know what it is? Love. Living below where you're supposed to. Going out with folk you don't need to.
Jesus.
Knowing you broke and still buying stuff.
Come on.
My fault. I'm on the low. Doing stuff that don't want nobody to know, but I know I'm wrong, but I ain't gonna change because I'm on the low. So sometimes you can be on the low and don't even know you on the low, and you gotta check yourself every now and then. Why am I still doing this? But nobody know it, but I'm letting myself get away with it on the low.
Come on now.
Dear neighbor, this is a real good series already. I can see it already on your face already. Say, excuse me. Where you at? What gear you living in? Don't answer out loud. I found out that a lot of people in the Bible live in different gears in their life. You can find people that the ideal of somebody like Oprah. She got stuck in the ideal of Park when she should have shifted with Ruth. And she was so jacked up by reverse that she couldn't even go forward. And so sometimes our lives will be stuck in a direction God wasn't even asking, because I gave you a chance to turn, but you didn't think. I gave you a chance to shift, but you didn't shift. By now, you know that there's something you got to shift in your life. Matter of fact, most of us know the area that we need to shift, but we just haven't shifted.
Amen.
2 people say amen.
Amen.
I knew it was going to be that kind of a day today. Praise God, anyhow. Sometimes you get stuck because you get stuck in doubt, like Thomas.
All right now.
It ain't that you don't know it, it's just that I want to see it for myself. And your doubt got you stuck because your faith won't move. Okay, we're going to move forward past the day. Yes, we are. Every now and then, God will allow you, watch this, get in a place that He has to cause things to shift around you if you won't shift yourself. Okay. On that job, when that pink slip came, that was a shift. Sometimes it's our very own health when things shift physically. It'll make you change some stuff that you didn't want to change. It's not that you couldn't eat like that before. You just needed help to make up. Oh, you got me. Say to the neighbor, let's go. So here he goes in John chapter 5. He begins this situation. He says this. First of all, the first person he's going to begin, of course, on that, who we used to call neighborhood. And don't ask me why. My neighborhood, say in his neighborhood. Their vernacular, their diction was ghetto. So we called it a primitive. I know y'all too refined for that. But we didn't know it was called the gear shift. So we called it what it looked like, rather than what it was. Sometimes we call our life the same thing. First thing he says is this: no parking, because you can begin parking in wrong environments. Say, don't park in the wrong environment. One of the worst things we can do as believers is park in the wrong environment. Scripture says it this way: after the feast, the Jews and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there was at Jerusalem by the sheep market pool, which was at the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, had 5 porches. 5 porches. And then he says, this is a great multitude of folk that were impotent. Now what's interesting is your life will go where you take it. I said your life is going to go where you, I know you want God to take you there, but I got news for you. God ain't drive your car here. So your life is where you just, that's going to work for me in a minute, all right? So he says, this was a feast of the Jews, and they were up at Jerusalem. Say number one. Some old places you don't need to go. See, Jerusalem was a religious city. In other words, everybody there was religious, and sometimes we get stuck because we keep going through the old places that really don't produce the thing we need for our life. What I needed was Jesus, not Jerusalem. I needed a person, not the place. And sometimes, even on Sunday morning, we got to make sure I'm not just coming to the place, I'm coming to a person. Because if I miss it, I'll be like this guy. I'll be in place but frustrated with the place because I didn't come for the person. Because it's not the place that moves you, it's the person in the place that's going to move you. They're going to help you make the shift. Hallelujah. He says this, watch this, in Jerusalem means old thing. It means the ideal, that which is religious. So sometimes you can't keep on going back to the same places.
Right now.
Not y'all, I know y'all don't know, but I know for me, when I got saved and I was in the military, had to fly back home, got on a boat, got on my boat, used to be the slush king, all that kind of stuff, pay for weekends, all that kind of great stuff. The first weekend after I got saved, they told me, you know what, we'll go to the club. The first 3 weeks I said no. That 4th week I said yes. I went to the club and I looked like somebody that was living inside of Florida Ed, that was standing at 110 degrees here. I was sweating and wasn't even dancing. And what I didn't realize was my life had moved, and now the place that I try to go back to, I don't even belong in no more. And sometimes we keep going back to places that you don't belong and then wondering why you're uncomfortable. You know why? You used to go there without the Holy Ghost, but now since the Holy Ghost is on board, he don't want to go there no more. And so he ain't comfortable no more. So he makes you uncomfortable now. Say old places. All right, we're going to cut off some of your list of where you go now. All right, praise God. All right. Amen. Come on. Because see, listen, if you're going to shift, you can't shift and stay still. You're going to have to make a decision that some stuff has to change in order for me to go where God wants me to go. Say old places. Then he says, now therefore Jerusalem was by the pool. Say pool. Say ain't that kind of pool. He says in the Hebrew tongue, he says Bethesda having 5 porches. Then he says, then there lay in there a great multitude of impotent folk. Say impotent folk. Say neighbor. Once you change the places you go, you might have to change the people you go to hang out with. Sometimes you can't shift because the people you're hanging with are left in the same place. And you're going to have to make a shift. And sometimes my significance can't be that we got agreement with foolishness. Sometimes I got to be willing to change my friendships if it's going to keep me stuck. If I got to stay parked for you to be my friend, it's going to be a problem. If my movement refuses you and offends you and bothers you, if my growing makes you sick, if my change gets on your nerves, if I say I'm not or I stop or I'm growing or not doing no more and it bothers you, it's got to be okay with me. I got to want obedience more than I want acceptance. Because the folk he was hanging with, they got some interesting names. First one guy says, I have no vision. My fault. He said, I'm blind. Come on. How many folk we hanging with ain't got no vision? Ain't going nowhere. But that's my friend. Come on. He cute, but he can't see your destiny. Come on. She fine. She fine. Oh, she fine. But she can't see 5 feet in front of her. She don't even know who Jesus is. She was bumping through the car and into the tree, and even in that process, you gotta figure this thing out. Do I need to hang with her? Because if I do, I'm gonna have to drag her to where she needs to go, or drag him to where they gotta go, and they gonna build, watch this, we build a codependency with people we know are in immaturity. We build in codependencies with people and their iniquities and their infirmities, and just because they agree with me, because sometimes likeness draws agreement. Since I got a problem with men, I'll hook up with somebody that got a problem with men. Since your boy did you wrong, I'm gonna hook up with you because my boy did me wrong. Your girl did you wrong, so I'm gonna hook up with the girl that did you wrong. You confused, so I'm gonna go because I'm confused. We hanging with folks that are impotent, and then we wonder why we can't shift. You hanging with somebody that can't even show up on time for nothing. And you're gonna be like, what time you leaving? Why are you asking them? You know they late to everything. We have accepted their impotence. How many people have you accepted their impotence so you can keep their friendship? We're gonna move from there. The hawk, which means this, they can't go if they wanted to. The hawk means powerless, paralyzed.
Yeah.
Say, they can't move.
They can't move.
Every time you say, come on, they say, I can't. You go, I'm going to drive up to Philly. I'm scared of Philly. Okay, I'm going to go to Baltimore. I don't leave my neighborhood. You paralyzed by environment and mindsets that you haven't, just because you haven't been there, you won't go there. And ain't nothing like having a friendship that's limited to their success. And it's limited to their relationship and limited to their mindset. And if you go beyond their mindset, who you think you are? Oh, now you knew. Oh, you were off for that. I knew you when you wasn't off. You know what I'm saying? If you just don't get mad at me because of that, but I'm not going to make excuses for the place that God has called me, and I'm not going to reserve myself or dumb myself down so that we can hang out together. What he said? Because sometimes the environment is your friendships. Sometimes the environment is a place. Sometimes the environment is around people. He says the environment is with you. You keep hanging with folk that hear what you say, and you say they got the same vision as you, but they keep drawing back. And because they don't go, you don't go.
Excellent.
They go, you know what? I believe the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing. You said that. They said that 5 years ago and did nothing. Ain't did nothing, Elder. They said they was gonna open a business, do the thing, on the car, do my thing. They said that 5 years ago. And then the day you said, I'm gonna open your business, I'm gonna open mine too. No, you had 5 years to open a business and you ain't opened it yet. Maybe you are locking down your destiny and your purpose and your relationship. And if they don't go, you don't go. Hey, excuse me. You might need to shit. You do me a favor, go like this. He says, then watch this. Watch it. Sometimes we're struggling because we're waiting for a crazy season. Oh, my fault. It says this way. They was waiting. The blind folk wasn't gone. Come on. The crippled folk wasn't gone. The withered folk wasn't gone. The waiting folk wasn't gone. Oh, the waiting folk say waiting. Waiting. I'm waiting until something happens. Say one day. One day. It's not a day of the week. Are you feeling me? Are you feeling me, Millie? One day never shows up.
Right now.
It never comes. It's not even in the month. It's not even in the year. If you look on a calendar, there is not a day called one day. So he says, they're waiting for something to happen. And sometimes as Christians, we waiting for an event rather than relationship.
Wow.
Jesus has shown up in front of this man, and this man is telling him about an event. On Sunday, I'm going to get my deliverance. Well, if deliverance shows up on Tuesday, in your bathroom or in your shower or in your car, on Monday, wherever it shows up, you should be able to handle it no matter what the environment I'm in.
Amen.
Didn't even neighbor? Amen. I forgot to tell you. It's time to get out of the park. You can't park here. Wherever you at, I'm I'm just trying to let you know, you can't park here.
Right now. That's right.
You can stop here, but you can't park here.
Yeah.
The weatherman, he had made out of the step, he made a stop. Some places we have stopped, and it was supposed to be a step.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, this is how I know it was a step. Back in my neighborhood, we had these things called porches.
That's right.
And they used to say this crazy thing. They used to say it, I'm gonna say it, don't scare nobody, I'm gonna say it. If you can't run with the big dogs, don't come off the porch. Amen. This, if you can't get away from what's familiar, you don't want none of the future, baby. You ain't even bold enough, you don't want it bad enough, you're scared to get away from the familiar and the regular and the normal, and you want the average, so you won't leave what's close and what's regular. So now what happens is your environment of your thinking, of your people, of all places and perspectives have now jacked us up that we are saved and delivered. See Jesus, but can't move with him.
Good. Right.
And we end up like Nicodemus. Religious. But parked. Nicodemus was parked. He met Jesus, and Jesus says, "You must be born again." I have no idea about being born again. Well, you know, that's just, but you're a Pharisee. Yes, I am. I go to church every Sunday, but I know what it is to be born again. And then you don't see Nicodemus for like 9 chapters. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Just because you park, don't mean God did. So Nicodemus misses about a good year of Jesus' ministry because he chose to park in church.
Love it.
Oh, it's quiet up in here. Dang, man.
Amen.
Can I ask you a quick question? Say, neighbor. I hope you ain't in park. Matter of fact, say, neighbor. It's time you get out of the park. Because you can't park here. Sometimes we are parked relationally. Because you got to the limit you're comfortable with the person you with, and you refuse to do anything new. I've been doing it the last 5 years. I ain't doing nothing else. I've been doing it like this, so I ain't worried. They know me by now. You been parking, you don't even know it. Maybe you been parking your finances. Well, you know what? I've been broke all my life, so why do I want to have any money? I only had a 3-digit account. I don't even know what a 5-digit account looked like because I'm actually in part in my finances because I never expected me to open up a 5-digit account. Maybe you parked in poverty and don't know.
What's good?
Say, excuse me. Don't stay parked. Sometimes we park parentally, the ideal expectation that we have on our children. Yeah, they gave you a frustration run for that first 16 years, but they still got destiny on them.
That's right.
Don't you take your expectation off of them, and don't you start saying what other people saying, because you finally put yourself and your child in.
Come on.
I don't look at me like that. Oh yeah, you can be parked and be present. Come on. So he challenges me, he says, now you gotta get past these people, get past these ideal seasons, say seasons. Your seasons can shift when you do. Amen. You know what I found out with my car? I found out what my car is. My car don't move unless I do.
Come on, Pastor.
It's nice, but it ain't gonna move if I don't shift. Your car is like your life. If you don't move, neither will your life. Say, neighbor, right here, he's going to ask you to bless the Lord anyhow. Somebody said this way, he said this way. He said, stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Stop looking for happiness in the place you lost it. If they let you lose it there, then they might not want you to keep it no more. Go ahead, Pastor Dave. Go ahead. Don't bother him like that. Okay, I'm not going to bother him like that. But the first step to getting to where you want to go is decide that you're not going to stay where you are. I refuse to stay where I am. I'm going to be a bad somebody in the next year. You know what the next year is? Next Sunday. I ain't say for y'all. I said for me. I said for me. See, you decided. See, you thought I was deciding about January. But my next year starts the 14th of July. So I start my year according to my birthday. Or the day I decide to change. Or the day I decide to repent. Or the day I humble myself. A change starts when you, soon as you start to change. To your neighbor. You can't park here. You can't park at the old attitude that used to work on everybody else so you think it's going to keep working for your life. You in park. Come on. That little attitude that you got to break out, that you got delivered from, you got healed from, but you still use it because you want to put other people in park and lock down when you want to use it. It don't work no more. And we all see you in park, and we passing you, but don't get mad at us because we keep moving.
Amen.
Move on, Pastor Dave. Y'all got God on the side. Saying to park means a couple things. Either you park because you need a rest. Sometimes it's good to park because you need rest. But then sometimes we park because we just stopped. Can I ask you something? Did you quit or did you stop? On the dream, on the vision, on the goal, on the plan. On how deep your love could really grow. On how good you could be as a parent. On the level of your finances, with your financial goal, did you stop? And do I know if I'm right now in park or not? Jesus is a wonderful thing, Ray. Yes, he is. He is working with us. Sometimes it's through familiar places. Sometimes it's the idea of old places and patterns that we have in our life. Sometimes it's the people that we hang out with that are paralyzed, but we don't want to leave them. But we develop a codependency on them. And if they're the only people that tell you you're great, but they ain't great, but you think their greatness means something, but it's not, because they're not greatness, because they're only in the last place they left at, and they've been there for the last 10 years. If they tell you you're great, they just tell you, I ain't moved, but you better than where I've been. Same environment. Simple, Pastor, hurry up. Say, neighbor, he not, he parked. Sometimes we park and just watch it. We come to church, like to worship, but I don't know ministry. What's that about? So I'll come and get, but I will never come and give. And I don't even know a park. And I call myself a member, but every one of my members work. I mean, my body. Yeah. No, every part of my, yeah. So if you're a member and you don't work, you might not figure out that you've been parked for a long while. Wow. And sometimes you park for a reason. You park because you're hurt. Good. You won't work because you're wounded. So now you stay parked and you ain't going to move out of the park. Because you're wounded, and so since I'm wounded, or I'm just going to be here and just be watching. Wow. Go, watch out. I'm going to come, but I'm in park. You don't want to work on the greeters? I'm in park. Jesus. You don't want to sing? I'm in park. You don't want to help nobody? I'm in park. Ouch. See, the only person benefits you being in park ain't even really you. Yeah. Tell your neighbor, he just wants you to know, you can't park here. You can't park here. You park and wish. You tell everybody what you're going to do, but we don't do it. Park. Everybody know your story. Some people can finish it for you. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to write a book. But you ain't did it yet. Because we all know where you parked. Wow. Jesus! I'm going to go over here and go, oh, excuse me. I sure hope you start your car today and you get out of park. Because you can't park there today. You will, I refuse your pastor and implement people and continue producing something, not shifting, not moving. Yes, I'm declaring, yes, I'm decreeing, but faith without works is dead. Jesus. Please move, Pastor, please. I am. But here's my problem. He says they laid a great multitude in the pulpit before. They was moving by the word. The angel went down in a certain season. Say, stop waiting for a season. Sometimes we're making a season a reason for living. You're not even living for the day. You're waiting for when you finally get what you got. You won't even be happy till you get it. And when some people are frustrated till they finally get what they got, and then at the end of their life, so they've been mad all their life because they was waiting for one season, but their frustrations been carried all their life. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna keep on moving because you're looking at me like, you know what, Pastor Dave, I liked you when I first came here, but now you're getting Amen. When you park, you don't welcome a changed mindset. When you park, you don't realize that what you need and where you need to go is going to require your progress, and for you to participate with God in it. You do life without a GPS. You got no goals, no plans, and no steps to where you're going. You just here. Why? I'm stuck in park. Say amen, Pastor. Amen. Say neighbor, I'm praying for him. Because he needs prayer. I do. Somebody said this way, they said one reason people resist change is because they focus on what they had to give up rather than what they could gain. What could you gain if you got out of park? Tell your neighbor, it's time to get out of park. Time to get out of wrong environments. Go ahead with me. Matter of fact, show them something. Because somebody said they need a sign. Here's your sign. Here's your sign. God, need a sign. Here's your sign. Your sign is you keep parking in handicapped places and you ain't handicapped. You use it because it's convenient. You need a sign. There's a sign. There's a sign. God, give me a sign. Here it is. You keep parking where people keep towing you. You let everybody else's vision, desires, and passion pull you into their life so that you don't have life. Why? Because I done parked in a towaway zone. Call Larry. Call Frank. And they keep towing me away from his presence, purpose, and plan for my life. But today I got a sign. I know they're cute, but you parking at your own risk.
Yes.
They fine, but you parking at your own risk. Your girlfriend told you he was a dog, but you choose to park at your own risk. I'm gonna change him. No, you won't change. You know what's terrible? Because if you stay parked too long, you bet. So let me encourage you with my final sign. No parking! How long, Pastor? Not even 5 minutes. Not even 30 seconds. Don't you park in this place. You're parking in wrong people life, wrong places, wrong mindsets, and I'm stuck. I don't know why I'm stuck. I'm stuck because I won't shift. If this is helping two people, just give him a good praise. Neighbor, it's time for you to get out of park. So I'm hoping this is helping somebody while we work through our issues of sometimes being parked in wrong places, and sometimes we park because of circumstances. Go ahead, the scripture says this. It says this. It says we park because of circumstances. Okay, what do I mean by that? The Bible says, in a certain man that was there, which had an infirmity 38 years, when Jesus saw him lie, and then he knew that he had been there a long time in that case, he had said to him, do you even want to be whole? Say, excuse me. Stop parking at circumstances. The reason I know it's a circumstance is the Bible would have said, if it wasn't a circumstance that made him park, it would have said this: he had an infirmity from birth. But he didn't say that. And excuse me, say excuse me. We're gonna go a little hood here. What had happened made him park. So he might be 39, he might be, 59, I don't know. But what I do know is that 38 years he's been this way. And something happened that made him park. There's a circumstance that made him stop. Sometimes the circumstance that makes you not want to be in a relationship. And it's usually a circumstance called another person. Come on. And you know how you get hurt? You be like, I ain't going out with nobody. You know that was a lie when it came out your mouth. But the circumstance now has become that which is going to dominate how you see everybody else. Amen. He says, the servant man which had an infirmity 38 years when Jesus saw him lie. This was scary to me because it's almost like Jesus was not expecting him to be still lying there. Listen how the scripture reads. As if Jesus walked up and was like, why are you still here? Why? No, what you say? He saw, like, why say I saw you lying if you wasn't expecting you not to be lying? In other words, he had expecting him that in spite of the circumstances of you not having a daddy, you not having a mommy, you not having no money, was not going to keep you in the same place and make you stay parked.
Right.
Are you hearing me? So Jesus walks up and says, look here, man, I had an expectation. How you know? He saw the lion. Then he says, you've been here too long. Say, neighbor, what part of your life you been in too long? Don't answer out loud. Too long. I've been way out. I look this way. So I ain't nobody, y'all young brothers, so y'all in good shape. Ain't nobody think I was talking about them. Too long. I haven't been saving the money the way I should been. Come on. Too long. I haven't been loving my wife and loving my husband the way I'm supposed to be loving them. Too long. I've been holding my heart back and my mind back. Too long. I've been holding this dream in my spirit. Too long. I've been holding this book in the same place. Too long. I've been waiting for something to happen. And telling God nothing happened when God is saying, you make it happen.
That's right.
Too long. Too long. Say too long. Let me tell you how long too long is. One day later than what you were supposed to. It's too long. He knew that he had been in there a long time in that case. And he said to him, do you want to be where you're at? Say, hey neighbor, how bad do you want this?
How bad do you want this?
Do you want your future better than where you've been at all this time?
Yes.
And he says, the man said to him, sir, I have nobody. He said, excuse me. He ain't asking nothing about nobody else. At this day, this is the death of blank shifting for your life today. Where you are is not because of somebody else.
That's right.
Like, no, because Jesus was really expecting him already. If two things should have happened. Either he should have already had got up by faith, or he should have been doing this for 38 years. You know what? If he had just moved a little bit for like 38 years, I expected that even if you ain't got great faith, you got a little bit that you would at least move a little bit, and you should not have been in the same place 38 years later. I didn't say you was dead. I said you had an infirmity. I didn't say you was broke. I said you had an infirmity. I said you had a weakness. You wasn't stuck. Amen. You decided to park yourself.
Yeah.
So good.
That might be a little too much. All right. So he said, I have no man, and then I wanted a certain season. I wanted to cover the water. Then he said, somebody else got to put me in the pool. Say, excuse me. Nobody owe you nothing.
Come on.
All right, it's all good. One person clap. Praise God. The world owes you nothing. Your company owes you nothing. Your job owes you nothing. And if you start putting an expectation on people that owe you nothing, you will leave a place called frustration.
That's right.
Amen.
Why won't they do this for me? They should do this for me. They don't even know your last name. You a number.
All right.
You a number.
All right.
That they will pull out another one when you leave.
That's right.
And go, number. If you 9, they'll go 5, 10.
That's right.
Come on. We put expectations on people that we should not put expectations
Come on
on.
now. Preach.
No need for that.
Amen.
And then sometimes we just got stuck with our familiar self in the same place. How you know? Deuteronomy 2:3 says this way. You've been past this mountain too long. You've been past the mountain long enough. See, neighbor, how long you been here? How long you been mad? Yeah, I know y'all don't know nobody like that, but every now and then you go to a store and you go like, ha. And I want to say, how long you been mad? How long you been hurt? How long was you wounded? How long you didn't forgive? How long did you hold your peace? How long did you not deal with what you should have dealt with? Because that's the only way you acting like that, because you stuck in how long because you haven't accepted your, watch this confrontation about dealing with the thing you got to deal with.
That's right. Wonderful.
He says you can pass this mountain too long. Go ahead, move it for me because I need to tell him another. Some person said they need a sign. I felt that. I heard you in the spirit say I need a sign. Here's your sign. No parking because the last person who parked here is still missing. And ask you a question. Are you missing because you still park?
Jesus. So good.
Jesus.
That's so good.
Are you missing because you still park?
Yes.
We're rooting to good for Oprah. She's saying, I wish I could show her my baby that I had with Boaz, but she missing because she was still parked where she was. Come on. You know what? Peter took a long time. He was missing. God had to go find him because he was missing. He said, do you love me? Do you love me? Because you went back to an old place, parked with some old people, and I couldn't get you out because you were so locked up about They missing. Would you be missing in what God's asking from your life? Because you prefer to be parked than move. It's awful quiet. Church today. Say, excuse me. I hope you're not illegally parked.
You're not illegally parked.
See, you're illegally parked when you are parked illegally in a private parking space that is not yours.
That's right.
I said, is not yours. Could you be living a life that is not yours? Could you be dealing with people that are not yours? Could you be dealing with money that, okay, praise God, it's not yours. It's just a tithe, but it's not yours. See, the spaces belong solely to the residents of these people. And sometimes we in church, but we illegal. I mean, we could be in places we know we don't belong. But I like being parked. And I might stay parked for the rest of my life and nobody bother me and confront me about where I park at. And you know what's really scary is you don't realize that sometimes you'll get a ticket.
Yes.
Because you ain't moved. We just had a car parked outside our house this week. Went right along with the message. I said, God, you are always preaching. They parked this crazy truck in front of our house. The first day, second day. So then me and the neighbor was like, is that your car? I said, that ain't my car. I said, is that your car? I said, that ain't my car. I said, so what car is this? He said, you don't know. So then I asked him, I said, do you ever see anybody? He said, I checked around. The next day I came out, I said, did you see anybody in this car? Third day, he says, this dude drove up the car, parked the car there, ran into the bushes. True story, right, Pastor? We ain't seen him or anything else but the car all that time. So we call the police. He calls them on day 2, I call them on day 3, because we know this car is now illegally parked.
That's right.
This is how you know you illegally parked. You making life inconvenient for everybody around you.
Wow. Jesus. Yes.
So instead of going into my driveway, I had to go around this parked car that don't belong where it is because it's illegally parked in a place that don't belong. I wonder how many people got to go around your life to get to really where they're going because you've chosen to be parked. Now what scared me, because I'm going to move because this answer really helped me. You know what happened the third day? The car disappeared. And I came with no name. I saw my neighbor and said, hey man, did the cops come get the car? He said, no. I said, what happened? He says, the man came out of the bush. I'm like you, where I live. Right? Dude can disappear in the bush. 3 days later, came out of the bush. That was my question, Judy. I don't even want an answer, all right? Here's what made me mad. Even though he's illegal, he know legally he can do that and get away with it. They don't put a sticker onto your car until the third day. Woo. Some people don't mind being legal until it starts hurting. We're going to start losing. We're going to start getting things taken from our life. But he left it parked because he knew the law. Wow. 2 people can give a good shout out right here.
Hallelujah!
You ain't got nobody come out of the bush in your neighborhood? Just that alone, Lord, make you give God glory. Come on, God. All right, close this out real quick. Look at this. He says, get out of the park. When you get out of the park, watch this. You're going to have to get out of the park to do something. He tells him, listen, you can't stay where you are. You're going to have to come out of the park. And the way you come out of the park is easy. He says, you're going to have to do something to start moving. Say, do something.
Do something.
I know you're praying. I know you believe it. But you're going to have to do something to keep yourself moving. You can be in an automatic situation, automatic car, but ain't nothing going to happen to you. Apply your faith to where you are. He says, Jesus says unto him, rise, take up your bed, and walk. And immediately the man was whole, and then he went to his bed and walked, and the same day was the Sabbath. Oh, so by the way, just because you get deliverance, don't think everybody shouting. See, when you finally do move, you're going to find out who your haters are. You're going to find out who your judges are. You're going to find out who the people who were not believing for you, but were around you, that was mad at you, that don't really like you, and when you start moving, they're going to tell you about yourself. But you're going to have enough thick skin and to know that the masses ain't got nothing to do with your purpose.
Amen, Jesus.
God, you're going to have to know that without a doubt, even my haters can't destroy my future. That the people that will be the judges of my life, that will have to stop my life, they don't have the authority on my life to me. So even when the religious folks showed up and said, how in the heck, they didn't even ask him, are you whole or are you healed? They said, why are you walking? Some people mad you moving. And you gotta be okay with moving with folk while they mad. You ain't gotta like me, just don't stop me. We ain't got to be best friends, and you ain't got to know everything about how I was delivered. He says here, the man said they made him whole. He took up his bed. Say, take up your bed. See, first thing you want to do is rise though. Because if you stay parked, you don't shift your mentality and rise up to another level and see something further, something greater, something better than where you are, you'll stay parked. Then he says, the second thing he says, look at here, after you rise up, then you go to David, rise up, take your bed. Say, excuse me, this will take personal responsibility. I know that's like cussing in the church. I know it. You ain't, come on. You ain't gonna learn it till you read it. You ain't gonna lose it till you work it out. Come on, you ain't gonna get better health till you do something different than your health. The food is not gonna move away from you. Come on. You're like, don't eat, you can't be eating chicken. Well, the chicken jumped in my hand. And it just made its way to my mouth. Oh, they told you, you can't eat the fried stuff no more or else you die. We gotta take some responsibility for where we're going for. We gotta choose not to stay apart in some parts of our life. And I will be, and I got that. If you're gonna have money, you gotta keep some.
That's right. Jesus. That's right.
I said keep some.
Come on,
I cursed twice a day in church. That's messed up. I said take responsibility and keep his money. All right, I'll be better. We'll do that next week. I promise. All right. Because you get it. Learn how to keep some of it. That's why Jesus says make friends with your money. Amen. Come on. You ought to have a couple Benjamins that have been around you for a couple of years.
All right now.
You and Grant should be able to hang out sometime rather than you just sharing with everybody you know. Go ahead, Pastor. Take a neighbor. You can't park here. He got him and walked the same day was the Sabbath. Therefore, the people that was cured the Sabbath of love said it was unlawful for you to pick up your bed. He answered and said to them, go talk to him that made me whole. He said, bye, Felicia. Y'all know who Felicia is, right? Okay, all right. So he said, bye, Felicia. I don't even know the dude's name that healed me. All I know is I just took his word and he changed my world. If you take his word, it will change your world. Show them that last sign, because somebody said they need to pray, get the sign. So I'm going to give one more sign. Here's the sign. Don't you even think about parking here. I said, you know you bad in the neighborhood when you put a sign like that. You either got a gun or you a police. Nothing personal, Raheem. I'm just saying. Don't even think about it. Why do you think where you are is all there is? Why do you think you can't have more? Why you can't think that your marriage can't be better? Why you can't think you can't be the best parent on the planet? Don't you even think about parking here.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. Don't you park in your hurt. You might have to pass through it, but you ain't got to stay in it. Set some goals. Reset yourself when you feel stuck. Set some new goals and some deadlines. Number 2, he says, and have a major cleanup. Why? Because you're tripping over stuff. Come on, we tripping over some stuff. If we move some stuff, you won't have to trip over it no more.
Right.
So move that attitude. Move that mindset. Move that thought path. Why? Because I'm tripping over some of that stuff. And he says, change and do something different and try something new. Journal, write something down. Sometimes you got to put that phone down. Come on, it's amazing that, watch this. Here's my problem with this whole story. His whole problem was, I wanted the deliverance I saw in somebody else on Instagram. I thought my deliverance was the same as that other person's. So I saw them working on their picture, so I wanted their picture. But God never gave me their process. Maybe we stuck because you're so busy looking at somebody else's picture that you don't even know God trying to give you your own process. Instagram was messing him up. They watch it for something like somebody else's life while their life stays parked. 38 years. I saw every picture. I scrolled it all the time. Every 38 years, I saw it. It's about to come up. Take it, cherish. 38 years, take it, cherish. How you gonna stay taking pictures for 38 years and be parked for all that time and then be mad at everybody else? That's gonna move, close out right here. Stay high as, oh, that's my fault. See you later. This is not deep. You can't stay far. Tell your neighbor. It costs too much. Let's stand to our feet. Father, I thank you even today for what you're doing and how you're doing in our life. I pray that even today you will help us with this area that you're doing first.